Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at the MEE Audio M7 Pros. If you're a long time subscriber on my channel, you may remember close to a couple of years ago now that I looked at the M6s back when they were called ME Electronics. These were IEM that were aimed more at the musician kind of side of the market, but they went down an absolute storm on the channel. It's one of my most popular videos to date. Had an absolutely fantastic reception on the channel, and my video was a massive kind of influence to people's decisions on whether they wanted to get them. They were great value for money as well. At the time of recording those, they were $69.99, but they're now back with the M7s, which are a definite step up from the M6s. These do come in a little bit more of a price premium. They are $149.99 at the time of recording, but these actually offer a dual driver over the single that we saw in the M6s. It's actually using a dynamic and balanced armature driver with a 10mm moving coil. This allows a greater sound than what we saw in the M6s. It's also addressed one of the problems that I always used to get in the comments of the M6 video. Realistically, I'd have a question about it every 2 or 3 days, so it's nice to see that this one has a great improvement on that. I'm going to leave you in a bit of suspense for that till later on in the video, but look forward to that bit. We see some familiar things that we saw in the M6s with the M7 Pros, and then also a couple of additions as well. The M7s have a frequency response from 10Hz to 20 kHz and then 16 ohms at 1K impedance. We get a fantastic package just like the M6s, really great presentation on MEE audio products. Now, like we saw with the M6s, the M7 Pros are aimed at musicians primarily, but these are better balanced just for everyday listening or even for everyday audiophiles as well. Now, before we get into the box, another fantastic feature that MEE Audio does is the lifetime replacement. This basically allows any accidental damage, such as them being crushed, shredded, fried, or simply left behind, to then offer you a new pair at half the price. Now, there are some terms and conditions that are on the website for that, but although they don't have to offer it, I think that's a fantastic thing that they're actually offering. So inside of the actual box, we've got a whole host of different things. Obviously, you've got the M7s themselves, accessories, which are all the different ear tips, a nice set of instructions, then a nice carry case which includes the cables and also an adapter as well. I will show you all this individually, of course. So first up, we've got the ear tips. We've got 7 different sizes available. I'll show you them more specifically later on, but they do also include comply tips. If you're not familiar with those, they're kind of like marshmallow ear tips. You can squeeze them to kind of compact them, put them into your ear canal, then they'll expand to fill it. I find it often gives me a much greater sound than what I can get from a silicone tip, and it's always my preference for audio, so any headphones that come with them, I always stick them straight on. So the M7 Pros use the Comply T200, which are a standard size, and they're easily available just on Amazon, so you don't have to go and get any custom ones, which are great. So included in the carry case, you've got the stereo accessory cable and then also a headset cable. So obviously one of them has got the control to play, pause, do next track, and you can also activate your digital assistant on there as well. These both use MMCX connectors as well, so easily interchangeable between both. These cables are also available separately as well, so should you damage one, they're easily available to get spares. As you can see, they're both a clear style cable, which is nice to see. The M6s had one white and one clear, so I definitely preferred the clear. And it's nice to see that they're both using the same cable this time. They both start off with the right angle jack, then go through to kind of the cross section, then the headset button, and then both go to the memory style kind of wire that we saw in the last generation. This you can then wind around your ear, just kind of clamp it down so to speak as well, so you get a better fit around your ear. There's also a couple of shirt clips on there, but you can easily take those off if you don't want to use them. And then finally we've got a 1/4 inch or 6.3mm adapter. Okay, so looking at the actual earphones themselves, you can see they've got a lovely clear kind of design. I really love this, just being able to see what's inside. I just find it really visually appealing. I think it adds a certain kind of professionalism about it as well, that they're willing to show what's inside. Now, as I mentioned, they do use the MMXC connectors, so it's easily to change out bad cables and to swap over if you want to go between the stereo audio and then the headset cable. There is a different colour indicator as well as a small bump on one side as well, so you'll be able to distinguish which is which without looking at them, which is nice. So looking at the end of the cables, it does look like it screws on, but it's just a simple push and then it clicks into place. It is tough to remove as well, which is also a pro, but obviously it's going to be a little bit tricky to swap them over if you want to. It does have some manoeuvrability as well though, so you can position it precisely when it's around your ear. So obviously once you've got those on, it's just a case of picking your ear tip. As I said, there's 7 different variants included. I've put one of each size for you to see here, but personally for me, as I mentioned, I go straight for the Comply. I've used these for a number of years now, and if the option's given to me to use Comply, I'll just smack it on straight away. Here's a sped up clip to show you just how it expands when it's in your ear. It forms a really nice seal and gives you even better sound than silicone. Now, word of warning, these are quite sensitive and prone to tears just because they're so soft, so when you put them on, just be sure to kind of pinch at the base and then push them on. They are quite stiff to fit, so just take care as you do it so you don't rip the actual material. Then once you've done that, just literally squeeze it together and then push it into your ear canal and let it expand. Now some of you may not know, but I wear glasses as well, so the wire doesn't interfere going round, which is also great. Then it's literally down to you to use your own personal preference on how you're going to play back your media, and then pretty much just enjoy. Now I'm sure you're wondering, to go along with that, how does it sound? So I've pretty much shown you around all I can anyway, so we just as well jump into pretty much a sound signature and then a conclusion. So now a dual driver at this kind of price is a rare thing to see, so the current price tag on this I think is certainly justifiable. Now one of the things that was always brought up about the M6 Pros is how there was a lack of bass, as it was aimed to be a more natural sound and there wasn't kind of any enhancements at all with it. Now the M7, the bass has been drastically increased and it's also pleasing to hear. It instantly gives you a more just enjoyable sound in general, and just that fact that the bass has been pushed alone easily allows me to recommend it to just general listeners rather than just musicians. And that's all thanks to the dual driver. Going from the M6 Pros that had the single, then to this one with the dual, it's just added that extra element which is also superb. The M7s have a good mid-range. You do have emphasis on the lows and highs with these, so the mids suffer ever so slightly, not a massive amount though. But I have seen headphones that have had more emphasis on the mids that have made it just kind of harsh and sharp to some sounds, so a dialed back mid would definitely be the preference over going over the top. And then in contrast, the high frequencies are just spot on. You just have a real kind of detailed crispness to any kind of sound that you put through it. The high frequencies are just portrayed so well. I had a number of times that I just got so immersed in the sound that these were producing that I'd actually forget I'm there to test them rather than just actually listen. So yeah, it definitely pulled me in that regard. The M6s to the M7s are just two completely different animals. The M6 has got, a great value for money, but the M7, it is a steeper price, but it's a massive, massive step up. Just so impressed with what they've done. And that bass has just answered so many questions that I get, frequently with the M6s, that just doesn't provide that range that people want. But now with the M7s, it's just great. So whether you are using these for maybe gigs, monitoring your audio on stage, to even casual listening, I'd even go as far and say you can use these for sport as well if you were to get some of the sports comply tips to go with it. That sound is just so well balanced that they've really got kind of potential to be used in any area. I would suggest though, if you do find yourself liking the comply tips, to stock up on them. They generally last about 3 months with general use. So yeah, grab yourself some of those in advance. But overall, a cracking product and a worthy upgrade over the M6 Pros. So if you want to get yourself a pair of these guys, I will put a link in the description box below. I'll also put the Instagram and Twitter links down there as well if you want to follow me. If you haven't subscribed already, do it! Thank you for watching. Thank you for MEE for sending these out for me to review, and I'll see you all in the next one.